as long as I have memories in my head, I've loved horror movies and I've wanted to make horror movies. So I don't know, it's something I've just always been drawn to. I was a guy who like waited in line to get my hero like Wes Craven's autograph. You know, I waited for hours to get Clive Barker's autograph. And now I'm here talking to you about this movie that I made. It's surreal for me. I think it's interesting because we got to take, well, at least I got to take all of my favorite things of superhero movies and all of my favorite things of horror movies and combine them together into one crazy mashup. And you know, that is such an exciting concept. You know, we've seen dark superhero movies before, and we've seen gritty superhero movies before, or grounded, but like you've never seen a superhero movie like this in that it's told from the perspective of people who are running for their lives and screaming at the top of their lungs. So it really is truly a scary horror movie experience, but injected with superhero DNA.
Hilf ihm hoch.
Du bist anders. Was machst du da?
He was incredible. I loved working with Jackson. We got something like over 200 submissions from young actors who were interested in playing the role, and his was the first one we watched. And we all saw it, and we all looked at each other, and we were like, "This guy's incredible." And he did a great job, and I think he has a big career ahead of him. And I'm really excited for him to be able to show this to his friends and scare the hell out of them.
Wer bin ich? Du bist ein Geschenk.
Well, this is the first time I've ever worked with a young. Well, I mean, I guess on the Hive, they were in their 20s, you know. But I don't know. You know, to me, the story is about me and my mother and our relationship. That's sort of the core of the emotional core of the movie. And so you know, and Jackson was so incredible that he came as prepared as anyone else and took the movie as seriously as anyone else. So it really wasn't, you know, it wasn't any different, you know.
Du bist etwas Besonderes. Wir glauben, dass du aus einem bestimmten Grund hergekommen bist. Er war in der Scheune.
Hat er es gefunden?
Nein, als wäre er davon angezogen worden.
I mean, what I would say is, if someone hadn't seen the trailer, I would say don't watch anything. Just know that you're going in to see a movie that is a mashup of, you know, superhero and horror. It's going to come together in a fun way. Just watch it. Just let go and watch it, because I'm a big spoiler guy. I don't like things spoiled for me. I hear a filmmaker I like is making a movie. I don't even need to see their trailer. I just want to see the movie. Surprise me. I don't even need to know that it's superhero horror. I just want to see what you made. And so, yeah, I'd be a bad person to introduce the movie, because I'm a big fan of people going in blind.
Well, it was definitely frightening, because it's not scary, obviously, when you're actually filming it on set. That most of that comes in with editing and post-production. But yeah, it's actually really funny, because I have a lot of friends that I'm planning on going to see it with, and they're all very doubtful that it's going to scare them. They all have the impression that since I am in it, it's just going to be funny and not scary. But it actually caught me off guard and scared me pretty bad. So I think they'll be surprised by the outcome of that. But yeah, it was wild. I mean, while at the same time I couldn't stop smiling because I was so happy with how the movie came out, there were times where I was covering my face with my hands and, you know, peeking through my fingers to watch the movie. So yeah, it's a wild ride.
Zeit zu verschwinden! Komm schon! Verdammte Scheiße! Stopp aufhören! Komm schon! Verdammt nochmal! Gott!
Well, the fact that, you know, we have this new genre that's kind of been created by James Gunn, superhero and horror being put together. I've never seen anything like that, you know, and as an artist you want to do something that's original, and I think that, you know, that's one of the most exciting parts about this. No one's ever done it. No one's ever seen a movie quite like this.
Well, I love Brendan and BRIGHTBURN because, you know, it's really introducing the idea of what would happen if evil were to find its superhero or supervillain, so to speak. And it really introduces this new concept. And I think it's just really empowering in kind of a bad way. Empowering to be able to play a character that is virtually unstoppable. And also it's a good experience as an actor to be able to play Brandon, who clearly has a lot of conflict and you know, some emotional issues within himself. So I think I got to play a lot of aspects of a character within one, and I think that's what made it a really good experience.
Er sieht zwar aus wie wir. Er ist nicht wie wir.
Well, you saw the movie. He's pretty amazing. So it's pretty easy to work with Jackson. He's a great kid, and he's incredibly talented. And you know, we had fun. We did a lot of laughing on set, actually, considering how tense and dramatic it was. You wouldn't realize that we had as much fun as we did.
Nachdem dein Dad und ich geheiratet hatten, haben wir so lange gebetet, ein Baby zu bekommen.
It had more fun. You wouldn't expect it, but yeah. Although the movie is so dark and tense and all those, you know, things combined, we spent probably the majority of the time on set that the cameras weren't rolling, laughing, and even sometimes when the cameras were rolling. Yeah, it just tons of laughs, always cracking each other up is a blast.
Eines Nachts hat jemand die Gebete erhört.
Well, what if a superhero came to, well, not really, it's not a superhero. What if an alien came to Earth and was raised by humans, and only when he hits puberty do you realize that he has these special powers, and he's going to use them to take over the world?
Ich stelle mich nie gegen unseren Sohn.
Er ist nicht unser Sohn.
I love her faith in her kid's goodness. I thought that was really something to explore. I think that she has a optimistic view of everything that is at odds with her husband, who has a very pessimistic view of things. And I also felt like she has a real journey in this movie. You know, it's an opening of her eyes when she's been in denial probably for too long. She's become complacent with a lie that is about to destroy her entire family and her entire life and maybe the entire earth. And I felt like what a big idea to get to play in such a fun movie.
Noch nie in seinem Leben. Vielleicht stimmt was nicht mit Brandon.
Well, I think for me, you know, I've always loved superhero movies, and I've always loved horror movies, and the idea of making a mashup of those two things and creating something that wasn't 50% of one and 50% of the other, but 100% of each of those things together was just an exciting idea to me. And I also like the idea of really creating a very different type of superhero myth, one that was dark and different, but was also very human. It was really about this little small family that lives in Kansas and their issues with each other and how they affect each other and how maybe they don't affect each other. And that discussion was very interesting to me.
Dass etwas Gutes in dir steckt.
No, there was a lot of physicality in the movie, which I thought was actually really fun. I really enjoyed the running and the jumping and the dangling and all of that stuff. I actually thought it was, I loved the challenge of that. We did a lot of night shooting, which was really also kind of exciting. And also, we had fun. I don't know. I thought it was really fun. I love, like, I don't know, there's something about presenting to the audience this idea that really felt exciting all the time that we were doing it.
Yeah, because you know what? The movie was such a small, simple movie with such a big idea that every moment we were doing it, we were very attuned to what we were doing, and we knew exactly what was going on. And it was so finely done by Brian and Mark Gunn, my brother, my cousin who wrote it, that we just had a great roadmap to follow. And to add to that, you know, I've been friends with Elizabeth for a long time. I've been friends with David Denman for a long time. Dave Yarovesky is one of my oldest best friends. So it was really just a real family situation where we got to work together in a way that was different than a normal Hollywood movie, and especially coming off of Hollywood movies where we had thousands of people all over, which my last few movies have. This was a much more intimate setting where I was able to deal with the different crew members a little bit more, and it was fun in that respect.
Was immer du auch getan hast.
Oh, Jackson, I mean, they searched high and low for this amazing kid, and I just thought he was fantastic. Everything that you wanted. He really lived in the moment with us. He was a great scene partner, and he's terrifying. Like, you know, he really was the whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, he was like having a great nephew on set for me. I mean, I just gave him crap the whole time and goofed around with him, and you know, he plays this video game and talks about Fortnite and, you know, makes fun of me for using internet terminology wrong. And he's just a great kid and a great actor, and I think it's really hard to find an actor who's that age who's able to do all of the things we demanded of him doing in this movie. And he's a really talented guy. I can't wait to see what he does next.